Hello everyone. So now let's talk about the next topic, that is using RDS and Redshift for structured data. The answer to this question is present in the AWS documentation. But before I'm going to take you all towards the AWS documentation, my simple question to all of you, what do you mean by structured data? So if I have to give the answer, the same answer you used to give in your school days or college days is structured data is the one where you are storing the data in table in the form of rows and column. Or another common definition which we used to give the data whose schema is fixed or schema is defined. Now schema here represent a structure of your data. Okay. And yes, for the structured and relational databases, you can keep on adding more pointers, like it should be ACID compliance, it should be following the normalizations, and so many things. But what I want to show you, I will be showing you that RDS and Redshift are two major candidates of the structured data. Or you can say that these are the main candidates in the AWS Managed Database Services whenever we are talking about relational databases. What is the difference? A very common difference between RDS and Redshift is RDS is used for OLTP, online transactional processing, and Redshift is used for OLAP, online analytical processing. Soon, as I told you, I am going to take you all to my AWS Management Console and we are going to perform some hands-on exercises. Okay. But before that, let me quickly take you towards the AWS documentation to show you little bit on the RDS and Redshift side. So see, you can always open the documentation in the AWS by typing, let's say, RDS AWS documentation. Okay. And you will be landing here. The first line itself, or the full form of RDS, which says that relational database service. Okay. Now, why RDS? RDS is easy to manage relational database service optimized for total cost of ownership. Now, RDS is one of the managed database service in the AWS. When we use this keyword called managed, it means most of the administrative tasks will be taken care by AWS for you. It includes operate, scale, database management tasks, let's say provisioning, configuring, backup, patching, all these things will be a part of the RDS. Okay. Or most of the administrative tasks will be taken care by the AWS for you all. Okay. If I will scroll down further, you can see the benefits of RDS. It is easy to manage. You get the choice of database engines. RDS supports different type of database engines. High availability. You can achieve high availability with a multi-AG deployment and operational expertise. These are some of the features. If you have to innovate with RDS, you can use zero ETL integration as one of the feature, and you can see the deployment option too. And these are the use cases, everybody. Now let's understand this with the help of a demo. So I'm taking you all to my AWS Management Console where I'm going to search for RDS. And I will be navigating to RDS dashboard, everybody. This is my RDS dashboard from where I'm going to create the databases. Okay. So click on create database. Before that, make a choice of a region because RDS is the regional service. You need to choose a specific region before creating the database instance. So from this screen, from this console, we are creating a RDS database instance. We have two radio button, one for standard create, another for easy create. Standard create means you are going to set all the configurations options or you can customize the options, okay, in a simple way. Easy create means you are going to use the recommended best practice configurations, okay. Some configurations options can be changed after the database is created. Now these are the DB engines which RDS supports. I'm choosing MySQL. If any one of you is interested, after selecting a radio button for a specific DB engine, you can refer to the info section. Okay. So I'm selecting MySQL for my demo. Scrolling down, I am using a default engine version. If you have to use a specific version, you can choose from here. Okay. Template, obviously, as you are exploring the AWS services, so I would be suggesting you all to be a part of a free tier. But yes, if you want to create a production-based database instance, you can choose a template accordingly. Okay. I will be choosing free tier. As a part of a free tier, I don't have a multi-AG database cluster deployment or multi-AG DB instance deployment options available. Okay. What is this multi-AG? As the name is suggesting, multiple availability zones. Okay. So this is specifically used in order to provide the high availability. So here we are dealing with primary and secondary or master and standby. Okay. I will be choosing the single AGDB instance deployment because this is the only option available as a part of a free tier. Later, I have to give the DB instance identifier. Let me give, let's say I'm giving this. Okay. You can also provide the username and password. So either you can manage the username and password by yourself by choosing this self-managed option, or AWS provides you a secure way in order to store and manage your credentials that is known as a Secrets Manager. But for this demo, I will be using self-managed. So let me provide the password here. Okay. And in a similar manner, I'm providing the confirm password. Okay. Now, this is an instance configuration as you are creating a database server. Okay. So choose a default one or keep the default instance selected. Under storage also, I'm keeping the default setting. In the connectivity part, like how you are going to connect to this RDS database instance, I would be using EC2 instance for my demo in order to connect to the RDS database instance. Okay. If you want to use any terminal, you can use a terminal, but you have to install the MySQL client. Okay. Or if you directly want to use a graphical user interface, here you have MySQL workbench, everybody, which you can make use of. Okay. But for this demo, I will be showing you EC2 as well as MySQL workbench. Now, as per the rules, as per the ideal situation, your database should be private. Means you don't have to expose database to the public endpoint or public. But obviously, that is a part of the network setup. Means an architect will be helping you out in order to create the partitions and all. So for the time being, I am keeping all the configurations as default. Okay, default network, default firewall, and for the demo purpose, I will be allowing the public access. Remember, this is only for the demo purpose. Okay. Now, one thing all of you have to remember, in AWS, there is a concept of security group which act as a firewall. Okay. So this firewall decides what type of traffic is allowed. So I'm choosing a default security group, but in a default security group also you have to make a change if you have not done it yet. Or if you are using this dashboard, if you are using the default security group for the first time, yes, you have to make a change. What change you have to make, I will be guiding you. Okay. Rest all options I'm going to keep default. You can explore additional configuration. The database port is 3306. And then here, finally, you can explore other things like database options, DB parameter group, and many more. Now you can create the database, initial database from here also if you want. Or otherwise, you can connect to your database instance and then create a database. What is a data set I'm going to use, everybody? So see here. These are the tables I would be creating in the RDS customers and order table, and then I'm going to insert the sample data. This demo I'm showing you in order to help you out that how RDS is used for online transactional processing. Okay. So let's say I'm giving a name to my DB called demo DB, everybody. Okay, so I will be showing you when I'm going to connect to this database instance, this demo DB would automatically be present because it will be created at the time of launching. Okay, rest all options I'm keeping default again and creating a database. So once I'll click on create database, at the top you can see a progress bar which is saying your database might take a few minutes to launch. Okay, So I have to wait for the database to be available. In the meantime, my database is getting available. I will be launching one EC2 instance, which I will be using later to connect to this RDS DB instance. So search for EC2 in the search bar and navigate to EC2 dashboard. Within this EC2 dashboard, I am going to launch a fresh instance. Okay. So it is simple. Click on launch instance. I'm going to give a name. Let's say demo server, something like this. Okay. AMI, I'm choosing Ubuntu, a Linux based operating system I'm choosing here. Okay. Instance type is again talks about the server specification. So I am keeping this default, which is t3.micro. Okay. Ensure again, if you are a part of a free tier, then you should be seeing this free tier eligibility here. Okay. Key pair is used if you have to connect to this EC2 instance using remote. Okay. So I'm choosing proceed without a key pair. And again, network setting is default. I only have to allow SSH traffic from anywhere. With all other default settings again, click on launch instance. So the instance will be launched. Wait for the instance to come up and running. And as soon as it comes up and running, I have to click on connect button and say connect. So wait for the connection to be established. And once the connection is established, I am going to check the first thing, that is MySQL version. Because a very simple thing, you will be needing a software, you will be needing a client on your machine to connect to the MySQL database. Okay. So I am typing clear to clear all the info here. And first thing I'm checking MySQL version. It is saying not found, but you can install it using these commands. So let's say sudo apt install MySQL client core 8.0. So now you can see here, everybody, I'm not asking you to learn or memorize the command. They have automatically given you. If it is not present, then use this command. Enter. It is saying that could not find any package. Okay, let me see if I have typed the correct package. No, I haven't typed the correct package. There is no hyphen between my and SQL. Now this time it's not complaining. It is doing the installation. And once the installation is done, again I can check. This time I have my SQL version. It is returning back to me. Okay. What is the next step, everybody? We have to go to our database instance and we have to wait for it to be available. So you can refresh it. Otherwise, you can refresh from the top to check the status of this database. And once it will come to the available state, I am going to execute a command. Okay. So let me open this. I have to take certain properties. So once the database would be available, certain properties would be created. Okay. So let's wait for the DB to be available and then we'll be back and going to connect again in order to show you further the importance of RDS as a relational database service. Okay, so my RDS database instance is now available. Okay, so what we have to do, let's connect this database instance using EC2. So go back to EC2 and we are going to type a command called mysql-h. -h stands for host name. So how we are going to take the host name, everybody? Go back to your database instance, open this, and this is a endpoint, or you can say this is a host name. Take it, paste it here. Then you have to type -p. -p is for port number, which is 3306. If you have to verify, you can verify from here. Okay. Then -u, it is for username. It is the same username you had given at the time of launching the database instance. Again, if you don't recall it, go to configuration. In the configuration, you can see this is a username. And finally, -p for password. So press enter. It will be giving you a prompt to type password. Keep on typing and then press enter, everybody. So if everything is fine, you will be getting a MySQL prompt here. MySQL prompt means you're connected to the RDS database instance. So this is connection via terminal. You can also connect via graphical user interface. I'll be showing you. But before that, remember, if you are coming to these dashboards for the first time, after creating a database instance with the default settings, remember one more thing, everybody. And what's that? If you will be going to connectivity and security, I had used a default security group. Open the security group, everybody. And once you will open the security group, what you have to ensure? You have to ensure one rule here. What's that? Go to inbound rule, say edit inbound rule, and don't forget to add this second rule. Allow all the traffic from anywhere. This is how you choose anywhere. Okay, and save the rules. I already have this rule added, so I don't have to save the rule. In short, this particular security group rule is allowing traffic coming from anywhere on your RDS database instance. Okay, say cancel and come back. Obviously, when you will be performing this demo, watch this video recording and follow the steps accordingly. Come back here. The first thing I will be saying, show databases. Okay, and these are the databases. Can you see? This demo underscore DB was the one which we had created at the time of launching our RDS database instance. Let's use this demo underscore DB. Okay, simple SQL queries I'm executing. If I will be saying show tables, currently there is no table. Let me create two tables. One is this customer table I'm creating. Let me create it. Okay, another is this order table. Press enter. If you will be saying show tables this time, you'll be getting two tables, customers and orders. Now you can execute the queries. For example, you can insert the sample data, because right now if you're going to say select star from orders, you'll be getting nothing here. Or in a similar manner, select star from customers, nothing present. Okay, so insert the data like I'm doing in customers. In a similar manner, insert the data into orders. Okay, and then execute the select commands. Let's say select star from orders. Okay, select star from customers, like this. So you can see the result back. In a similar manner, you can query the data by executing different command. Let's say if you have to fetch all the orders for a specific customer, you can execute this query. Here you are performing the join. Okay, you can see the result back. And the last one, I have taken total sales per customer completed orders only. Let me execute this and you can see the result back. So idea is, everybody, like here we have to understand, whenever we are talking about RDS, it is a relational database service. Okay,